Donald Trump is having a terrible Tuesday morning. He's spiraling, making social media post after social media post. He got the following news this morning, the latest Gallup poll. The question was, which party would do a better job of keeping the country prosperous by a +4 margin? Democrats, 47% to 43%. Contrast this with 2023. Republicans were up +13% there. Now, we also get a headline from the Wall Street Journal that the Treasury Department is telling its employees, do not share photos of the White House ballroom construction as images of the demolition of parts of the East Wing go viral. The Treasury headquarters is right next door to the White House. It has a front row seat of the destruction and desecration of the East Wing of the White House, and the Treasury Department ordering its employees, you may not take photos and share it publicly of what is happening to the White House. Other headlines that Donald Trump is waking up to. Small businesses being crushed by Trump's tariffs. Economists say it is a massive warning for the economy. Duh, we've been saying that for months now. The Chamber of Commerce has sued Donald Trump over the new 100,000 H-1B visa fee. Some Chicago businesses feeling the impact of Trump's immigration blitz. More customers and workers are staying home, they say, leading to lower revenue and worries of wider economic repercussions for the city. We saw that here in Los Angeles as well. You also have a group of small businesses, a large group, urging the Supreme Court to affirm the lower court's ruling that Donald Trump's global tariffs amount to a massive illegal $3 trillion tax on businesses. So he woke up to that lawsuit as well. And also this from Bloomberg. The U.S. has no China policy, no strategy, and no clue, and is being utterly outmaneuvered by Xi Jinping. The Trump administration is criticized for having no coherent strategy toward China, with some experts describing the approach as strategic schizophrenia. I would just remove the word strategic and I would just say schizophrenia. Maybe remove that word and just say Trumpy. It's perfectly emblematic of why Donald Trump has bankrupted so many businesses before going into politics. Now, Donald Trump this morning posted the following as the ceasefire in the Middle East between Hamas and Israel has all but deteriorated at this point. There have been dozens and dozens of Palestinian deaths. There have been accusations made, facts made, that Israel has been withholding humanitarian aid going into Gaza. Hamas refusing to disarm, reestablishing control, saying it has no intention of disarm. Netanyahu, Smotrich, others who are leading Israel say they don't support a two-state solution. They don't support a free Palestine ever. You have Donald Trump saying he doesn't support a two-state solution and doesn't even address what should happen. And Donald Trump posts the following this morning. He goes, numerous of our now great allies in the Middle East and areas surrounding the Middle East have explicitly and strongly with great enthusiasm. Just pause there for a second. The hell does that sentence even mean? I mean, just think about these words. They've explicitly and strongly with great enthusiasm. It's just dumb. Just like a snake oil salesman talks like that. Inform me, Trump talks like that. Inform me that they would welcome the opportunity at my request. Okay, now you're finally going to get into what the hell you're talking about. Just think about all of those fraud words before getting into the fraud he's about to talk about. At my request to go into Gaza with heavy force and straighten our Hamas. Straighten out Hamas and straighten our Hamas. If Hamas continues to act badly in violation of their agreement with us, the love and spirit of the Middle East has not seen like this in 1,000 years. It is a beautiful thing to behold, I told these countries and Israel. Not yet. There is still hope that Hamas will do what is right. If they do not, an end to Hamas will be fast, furious, and brutal. I would like to thank all of those countries that called to help. Also, I would like to thank the great, powerful country of Indonesia and its wonderful leader for all the help they have shown and given to the Middle East and to the USA. Is it the president of Indonesia, the guy who went up to Donald Trump and said he wanted to speak to Eric and it seemed like they wanted to talk about like personal business? at that bizarre event that Donald Trump had where he spiked the football, despite the fact that since this fake ceasefire has been announced, there have been dozens of Palestinian deaths. Hamas has reestablished control. It's a good thing that the hostages were returned, but Biden returned 83% of the hostages. And then Donald Trump says, thank you for your attention to this matter. So then you had J.D. Vance in the Middle East today, and he was asked, do you think this ceasefire is going to hold? We already know it isn't holding right now. And J.D. Vance's response is, well, Jared Kushner is the investor here. He goes, Kushner is the investor? What do you mean Kushner is the investor? What the hell are we even talking? He's the investor of Gaza? So that's why it's going to hold, because Kushner's the investor? Just listen to what J.D. Vance's words are so you can hear it for yourself. Here, play this clip.
The ceasefire deal took months to negotiate. What do you think the likelihood is that it will last long term? If you had to put a number on it, a percentage.
Well, Jared's the investor here. I'm not going to give you a percentage, but look, what we've seen the past week gives me great optimism the ceasefire is going to hold.
All right, I've got some news for you. Let me show you a tale of two headlines. The first from the Financial Times, U.S. moves to cancel one of the world's largest solar farms. Trump administration scraps approval for 6.2 gigawatt Nevada project. Now, let me show you this one, the New York Times. Why China built 162 square miles of solar panels on the world's highest plateau. I had to interrupt Ben's report quickly to share this with you because this is insane. The Trump administration's war on clean energy is quite literally putting America last, handing the future to China. As the New York Times editorial board recently noted, a major purpose of Biden's clean energy initiatives was to counter China in this space and ensure that the United States, not China, leads the economy of the future. Now, as a result of Trump removing funding and tax credits for wind and solar projects, energy prices are soaring. And with the growth of AI data centers draining resources and driving up costs, we need these renewable energy sources more than ever. Per the New York Times, Chinese companies now produce 60% of the world's wind turbines and 80% of its solar panels. The US is falling further behind by the day, and it's the American people who are suffering. We're going to continue highlighting these climate issues, but we need you to speak out as well. So if you can, leave your thoughts in the comments about the climate and about this report. Let's make some noise. Okay, Ben, back to you.
And then there were these this disastrous press conference that the MAGA Republicans held in Congress as they continue to shut down the government because they want to rip away health care from 20 million Americans whose Affordable Care Act subsidies are set to expire, and their monthly premiums will go up 4, 5, 6x. I mean, so people who are paying $200 a month, $300 a month are going to start to pay $2,500 a month, which they're not going to be able to pay. And then they're going to go medically bankrupt, not afford health care, and potentially die. But they wanted to bring up the Epstein files today. So you had MAGA Republican Congressmember James Comer starts talking about the Epstein files and says, we've gathered all of this evidence. And what we've gathered does not implicate Trump, but it does Bill Clinton. Okay, well, as Brian Tyler Cohen says, which is why you refuse to release it and will quite literally keep the entire government closed to prevent a discharge petition from being moved forward. Here, play this clip.
Let's be clear. Democrats don't care about transparency or accountability in this matter. The evidence we've gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way. Public reporting, survivor testimony, and official documents show that Bill Clinton had far closer ties to Epstein.
And I guess Donald Trump ordered them to talk about Epstein this morning, because then you had MAGA Mike Johnson talk about Epstein. Play this clip.
These ladies who've come forward, they estimate there may be as many as 1,000 young women who were subjected to these heinous crimes. And many of them have chosen not to come forward and show their faces and reveal their names because it would compound the harm that they've already suffered. And so we want to protect those people. That's the sum total of all of this. That's our responsibility. And short of that, we want maximum transparency. And that is exactly what the American people are getting right now. Then
MAGA Mike Johnson says that he has no plan at all. There's no strategy regarding the government shutdown. Here, play this clip of MAGA Mike.
That's now the calculus and the strategy on when I bring everybody back. People have said, are you going to change your strategy? And I've said to you all very plainly in good faith, we're not we don't have a political strategy here. I don't have a strategy. We're just trying to do the right thing. We did what has been customary here and passed a simple CR. Again, this is really important, and it should be a headline in your journals as well. This is the first time in history that any party has shut down the government over a clean CR. It's a clean CR. That's the whole thing. There's nothing much more we can do.
And then MAGA Mike says that, this healthcare crisis, it's caused by Obamacare. If we never gave people Obamacare or Affordable Care Act plans, then there would be no crisis in the first place. Dude, people need to have healthcare, MAGA Mike. I believe that there should be universal healthcare. I believe that Obamacare came in, tried to fix things, did a decent job, needs improvement for sure, but it's given people access to healthcare, and the subsidies have kept people's healthcare within a range of affordability. It should be way cheaper, but there had to be constant fights because MAGA Republicans kept wanting to kick people off healthcare and kill them. But here's what MAGA Mike has to say. Here, play this clip right here.
They're covering their own tail. They're out here decrying the so-called forthcoming healthcare crisis, they say. It's the one that they themselves created. The Democrats created Obamacare. They're the ones that created a subsidy with an expiration date. They're the ones that did all of this. Republicans are trying to fix it. And they're trying to blame Republicans for the crisis they themselves created. They cry foul when we won't bail them out of their own shutdown.
And also, we learned some horrific news. Unfortunately, they caught the culprit before the act could be taken. But a pardoned Capitol rioter, a January 6th insurrectionist who Donald Trump pardoned, was just charged with threatening to kill Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries at a New York City event, at an economic forum event that was supposed to take place, or did take place on Monday. An individual by the name of Christopher Moynihan, who stormed the Capitol. He was in the Senate. He made text messages talking about a very credible plan to eliminate and kill Hakeem Jeffries. This was a January 6th insurrectionist who Donald Trump released. Finally, during this government shutdown, we know that Donald Trump's giving $40 billion to Argentina. Part of it's a currency swap. Part of it is, I guess they say they're just going to give him $20 billion. In any event, the Argentine peso has weakened to fresh lows despite U.S. interventions. In other words, we're throwing good money at bad, and $40 billion that could have went to help the American people has now literally been incinerated in Argentina. Not even helping. I'm not sure why it's offensive that we're helping Argentina in the first place while there's a government shutdown, while Americans are losing healthcare, while groceries are less affordable than ever, as people are suffering and are living paycheck to paycheck and are being psychologically tortured by living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford rent. We're giving $40 billion to Argentina, but it's not even helping Argentina. We're burning the money away so Trump can try to prop up his MAGA puppet, Javier Milei, who is sending Argentina to bankruptcy. So we just blew $40 billion. We'll see you later, not getting it back, and screwed over the American people. And then Donald Trump said we need to start buying our beef from Argentina. So not only screwing over the soybean farmers, but now our cattle ranchers as well. Great job, Donald. You're a complete moron, as people knew your entire life, which is why you've bankrupted everything and why these Republicans have zero spine to stand up to you. I don't know. In any event, everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.